Hey, everybody, and welcome to another live episode of The Grid. We are very excited to have a very special guest. But before we get to our guest, let's get to some people we're not excited about. RC.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
It's a joke.
It's cold in here.
Brr. How you doing, RC?
I'm good, man. Good, man. How are you?
You're like the official host now.
I know.
He's the host with the most.
That's right.
Speaking of official, can we zoom our camera over to Brad? Get ready. We're about to turn the camera on you.
Festive cam.
Festive cam.
Right
Let's
there.
go to Festive cam.
Let's take a look.
Hey, Brad.
That is a sexy man
good.
right
This
there.
looks so nice.
I just realized that I had not plugged in the monitor cable for my computer, so
Well, you should probably
should do that.
That's a Match.com picture right there. Look
Dude,
at that.
that's it. That's timber. I'm yelling it. Hey, but our very special guest, we're very, very excited to have one of the coolest guys, one of the best photographers. His name means love in 7 languages, Mr. Peter Hurley.
Thank you for having me again. This is
like a month.
Yeah, I did one last month.
I know, but you're so good.
That
we
never
wanted you
happens.
back.
That's amazing. I came back. He has me back.
We love Peter Hurley. So we're working on Peter's book, and we're close. We're close, right?
We're super close.
We're super close.
We're closing in, except for
and I got to work as
I embellish.
I got to work in the edit
I'm
as the editor
embellishing.
of his book. This I can't wait till it comes out. None of us can. Everybody here is like, even my editors on the set today. Even Kim's over there going, I can't wait for this book to come. This book is it's going to be the biggest book of 2015. I'll tell you now, it's going to be which sucks because I'm writing 3 books next year. That his is going to be the biggest book of the year, but still, it's okay.
I'm laughing out loud as I'm writing it, so that's good.
Yeah, it is. Well, everybody, welcome. Today is our blind critique day, and so we're going to jump right into our blind critique day. Just for those of you who are watching the show for the first time, and thank you for everyone that is watching it for the first time. If you've watched the show a million times and you know what I'm about to say, this would be an awesome time for you to go on Twitter and on Facebook and say, "Hey, the grid just started. Go, get on. Go watch right now."
Oh, let me show them how to do that.
Yeah,
right,
my
so
people
go over
can
here to
do
Twitter.
that. Hey, people, come on,
Go to
people.
Twitter.
Right here.
Hit
Get
the button.
on.
Tweet.
How do you do it?
Hit the button.
So,
tweet. all
Come.
that.
So just write this. Come watch the Grid.
Oh, you can retweet RC's thing.
Grid live.
Live.
Right now. And then put
the address.
in the URL.
Okay, so here's how our blind critiques work. We've asked our viewers starting yesterday, and we did this on Facebook and G+ and Twitter, to send in their headshots. So today we're only critiquing headshots. Peter Hurley is the master of the headshot. So we're having Peter critique your headshots. We've had a bunch of people send in, tons and tons of people, and today we're going to go through them. Now, here's the rule of this. The rule of blind critiques are this. Rule number 1, we don't mention your name. If you put a watermark, then everyone's going to know who you are, but we don't say this is from Bob, this is from Cindy. We just show the images. Mm-hmm. Why do we do it blind like this? Number 1 is we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if their thing is bad. But number 2, if we wind up hurting your feelings, we want it to be a private thing. And we're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but you know what it is? As a photographer, nobody will tell you if your images suck.
That's right.
Nobody will. Your wife's not going to look at you one day and go, "Honey, I'm sorry, but you're just not very good at photography. You should sell your gear." And vice versa, you're not going to go to your wife and say, "Honey, you just don't have it." And so if your spouse won't tell you, your kids aren't going to tell you, and your friends won't tell you, who's going to tell you?
I'll tell you.
We'll tell you. So anyway, that's what it is. We just try to be honest, and so it's better if we don't know your names. We don't want to publicly embarrass anybody, right? We don't want to make anybody feel bad, but I think at some point you need to hear, good or bad, what the real story is. And so Peter's really very, very good at telling the truth without burying you. So, and we try to pick images that are also going to help you guys learn. So even if it's not your images, I think seeing other people's images is a great way to learn.
Oh yeah, I think the critiques are a great way to learn. I do them on my my coaching site. PH2 Pro is my headshot coaching site, and I do portfolio reviews on there and stuff. And I think it's one of the most powerful ways to learn because people really get a lot of it. They get what's going on in your. When I look at an image, I kind of just say what's going on in my head, and I think it opens up eyes to a lot of people. Helps open their eyes so that they can start to critique their own work a little differently.
It really is the next level of how to learn. Like once you get past the button and the dials and doing all of that kind of stuff, you really kind of got to do a lot of trial and error. And best way for you to do that is to actually do that.
All right, let's do it. Now,
Okay.
I do want to tell you we have some great giveaways coming up later in the show. We're going to talk about some. Peter's got a deal that I want to tell you about too that he's got coming up that he's doing just for grid viewers, and we're going to talk to Peter about what is his goal with his facial hair. Last
Nice.
time we talked about where he was going with his hair, and I think we kind of see where it's gone. And now, and later we'll talk about what's really going on with it because I need to know the goal.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start off with the first one. So what we do is we go through 3 or 4 images is what we basically ask people to send in. We're going to go through them real quickly here on screen, and then we're going to have Peter take a look. So we'll start. Here's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. All right. So Peter, overall impressions?
Overall, is it the same photographer?
Same photographer.
Okay. I guess there's a little bit of an inconsistency from shot to shot in terms of the quality. Like this quality on this one on your screen looks fantastic in terms of the skin tones and everything. One thing is I like shots that are fairly tight, but I like to see both shoulders generally. So for me, I also like the eyes well above center line. I mean, there's a lot of the top of her. I cropped the top of that. This head is already cropped a little bit. Why don't you crop more and get the person up a little higher and show a little bit more under the neck? I like to see collarbones if possible.
All right. So you like the eyes of the top third, which I do as
yeah.
well. So there's
Yeah,
top third-ish.
Feel like it's a better representation.
I like that
Yeah.
better too. I think
Yeah.
it's a little more intimate.
Yeah.
Brings them a little closer.
What I do love is that she's messing with us. She's got a little expression going on there.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's like,
She's got a little
yeah.
smirk, a little something, something. I love that. That for me is that's what my work's all about. I mean, you can do a lot of things technically with the camera, and a lot of getting your work better is trial and error. But pulling the expression is my life. That's what I do on a daily basis. So when I see it in a shot like that, it means a lot to me. One thing I don't love is that she's fallen into that black background. I sell a product called Hurley Pro Board, black matte Pro Board, and the matte back there is like a chalkboard almost. I can make it go full black, but I can also hit it subtly with light so I can get that separation so you see more separation on the subject.
Yeah.
There's a little more separation on that one than in here.
Right.
But,
All righty, here we go.
oh, Boise.
And then this happened.
Oh, well, I mean, he's trying to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this. He's going for the vignette. He's going for the crazy background. You know, the shirt is just
Looks like a
got
Westcott background.
It's just like,
It looks like a Westcott background that's been lit like just kind of weirdly, and I think those things tend to look a little bit better when they're just kind of very even.
yeah.
When it's even, it looks nice. I think it's just.
I just think there's way too much going on. I don't think the expression's there. One thing that I loathe is the word. Can I say loathe?
Yeah, loathe is a perfect
Loathe.
word.
I
Loathe.
loathe shooting from above on people. This shot is shot down. So you see his chest in a headshot, which is like means that the camera's way high shooting down. Guy's looking up a little bit. I like to shoot with the lens at about the earlobe center of so I shoot straight at people. Because when you shoot down on people, like it's cheese factor 57, I think. I mean, it was like in the 1990s, I think, or 80s, late 80s, the headshot photographers in New York sat somebody on the
Can
floor.
you tweet that? So
Cheese Factor.
cheese factor 57.
You need a shirt that says Cheese Factor 57.
So I think the quote you want to. So Ajna is our social media Duchess of social media is here on the set with us today, and yeah, I think the quote of the day from Peter, and it's early in the show because there will be many more coming, is shooting down on people. What would you say? Shooting down on people is cheese factor
57. Yeah.
That's like I could see it right now. It's like a bottle with like a
Yeah, with a 57.
Cheese Factor 57.
Shooting down. For
What are the
portraits.
chances that they
just
included the EXIF information on that for the lens choice? It looks a little like a 50.
Does it look like a 50?
It's a little wide.
Yeah, it looks a little wide.
Let's see. Drop
Looks
over
a
to
little
Mr.
wide for a
Metadata. There is some metadata here. Let's see if we can get more metadata. You know, I use the bridge like only on this show. So it was 100 millimeter.
F10.
F10. but it's not really showing you much more. There's probably more metadata here. You know, I swear,
No, it's
the
empty.
bridge is like, no, wait.
7D, 17 to
17 to
55.
55. That's why.
You know where you can tell if that it's a 17 to 55?
55.
Pull it up. I'll show you. The distance between here, you see where the bridge of the nose is, the center
Yeah.
of the nose? Look at the eye. Look at how much cheek there is
Yeah.
over here in this one section. It
Yeah.
looks like he has a lot of, it almost looks narrow,
Yeah.
and then he goes alien head right here.
You know what? Shooting close-up portraits of
head looks
people with a
massive.
wide angle or a 50 millimeter lens
That's
is
a 50.
incredibly unflattering. I even talk on my seminar tour, on my Shoot Like a Pro tour, I show a side-by-side of shooting somebody with a 200 millimeter and a 50 millimeter. And when you see it, you'll never do it again. And you know what?
Once
Could
you
be
see it, you
cheese
can't
factor
unsee it.
58.
That's cheese factor 58. Don't. Okay, Ashton,
But see
don't
that?
tweet
Look at that head. That's a nice head.
That's a nice head. Hey, Peter,
Hey.
this guy's got a nice head.
He got some nice head.
This guy.
Yeah, but he's got no shoulders or anything. I can't see. He's just
Yeah, it
jammed
is.
up in there.
So I like the cropping at the top. The cropping at the bottom is just too tight.
Yeah, exactly. I need
It's
to
a little
see the
tight on the
collar
top.
on the shirt. Yeah, I want to see the style of the hair on the top. Believe me, I crop heads more than anybody, on the planet. But I like to see where the style of that hair is going. So if he spikes it up, I just want to see another maybe centimeter or something of it.
You know, your style is very croppy. I've heard a lot of people say that. You know, he's
it
a
is
croppy
croppy.
photographer.
Yeah, it is croppy. That's true. All right, this is what I like to call out to lunchitis.
This is going to be, Ashton is going to be so busy during this episode. This is what I call out to lunch-itis.
The guy is out to lunch. Come on, look at that.
He's also
action.
possessed.
The guy,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
he's
possessed.
The
he's
eyes
got
are about
Yeah,
a
I call
stop
a
writer.
brain freeze.
Yeah, and about 8 to 10 minutes later, he comes back as a zombie.
Yeah. Crop's not bad though.
Yeah, there you go. Crop's better. So you know what? He nailed
eyes
the
are
first
bright.
shot. He nailed this one back here.
Yeah, I see
It's her
immediately
smirk and
you
the
get
lighting.
her. There's something
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah, you know what it is? She looks like somebody you'd like.
She's got a
looks like
slight eye difference that
Yeah.
kind of throws me off. I talk about that in the book. We'll teach
Yeah.
him how to fix that in the book.
Yeah, but you know, she just looks like she's a nice person. Let's have coffee.
It's like, so. Then you're like, wow,
Massive
I have a
head.
wide head. And
All right, so they're not okay. Now we can't spend quite this much time on everybody, or it'll be a 4-hour show. All right, so what we're going to do
rock
instead,
and
but
roll.
thank you. That was I think you. What advice would you give them overall? I think back off a bit.
Yeah, make sure your lens. Well, one thing is we could see that the lenses were different that were used. If you're doing headshots, lock in your lens choice. Lock it in. I like prime lenses. I'm on a usually shooting right now on a phase 1 IQ 250 with a 110 millimeter or a 5D Mark III with a 100 millimeter macro. I like locking in. I like prime lenses. The minute that you put a zoom on, then you gotta. If you're gonna shoot headshots, I would just keep it at whatever fixed point that you want to keep it at and shoot it. And you like the longer lenses. We both like longer lenses for headshots. Yeah.
All right, here we go. This isn't really a headshot, so we'll just cute little girl. We'll start here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, overall, first impressions?
Well, it's not commercial headshot photography, so it's just like looks like out in the street type portraiture mostly, or just shooting around. And maybe that one was trying to do something.
I like that. You're trying to do something.
Trying to do something. ...
Then something happened.
You know, like I think this one is all about the expression that was captured. I mean, it's just kids are cute when they make crazy expressions like that. It's just
Sorry,
it's
unnecessary zoom.
I'm sure that kid's parents is fired up.
You know
about that shit.
what's interesting about this, and we'll see this a lot today. I haven't looked at the images, but I'm seeing this for the first time, like you are. Is that they look like 5 different photographers took these shots.
Yeah, that's always an
Even though
issue,
the subjects look like you shot a lot of them on the same vacation.
Yeah.
It's funny because that blue one looks very National Geographic.
That
Like,
one's
you could
cool,
see that
right?
in the National
that one's
Geographic
cool.
with
That
the
one's
colors,
cool.
That one's cool.
and
That
that's
is
great.
That's the
and
best
then,
one by far.
And then all of a sudden, he took off to
I mean,
lunch.
that one's
and
definitely
everything
cool.
else is different.
Hey, we have a question for Peter that just came in from Johan. Johan asks, is a 24 to 85 millimeter a good lens for headshots?
Absolutely not. Chuck
No.
that sucker.
Chuck that sucker.
When you're taking headshots.
Hey, Ajna, there's your next quote.
Chuck that sucker.
Is a 24 to 85 millimeter a good lens for headshots? Chuck that sucker.
Why? Because we just saw that guy used, what did he use in that shot?
He
It
used a
made
17 to 55. so
17
around
to
50.
55, yeah.
85. End of it.
If
At
he used the
85?
at 85, unless it's a crop sensor, it's still going to cause you some distortion.
Which
I
is
think,
kind
in
of funny
the
because
face.
everybody talks about the 85 being as a perfect lens, and it's usually it's 85 is like the start. You're really kind of
Yeah.
shooting when you shoot faces.
Go
You're
over
shooting
100.
105 to 135.
Yeah, at
Usually
least.
at 180, it starts kind of bowing in a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Hey, can
I
I
mean,
say
if you-
something?
Of course you
No,
can.
this
It's
is
your show.
This is important in the. I mean, this is important in the context of what was just said, because someone's writing in there about clarification. So in my seminar, okay, first look at Brad. Brad's pointing to him.
I was adding it for clarification because this is something you talk about on your seminar tour.
Oh, you wrote that the
I did,
clarification
yeah.
thing. Don't ever write anything again. I'm sorry. Go back to Brad. Okay, come back to us. All right. How's it going over there, Brad? We really didn't get to talk to you over there. How you doing, bud?
It's good.
Things
getting
good?
Getting kind of snacky over here. Figured I'd open up a candy cane.
Oh, good. What is it that you actually do?
I look
Look
at the thing
gorgeous.
over here and do the stuff.
Oh, okay. You're monitoring. Okay, so if you have a question, they go to Brad first, and Brad decides whether you're worthy.
wow.
And you can tell he's doing a pro job. Why
I'm
is
the
Brad
gatekeeper.
so well lit? Every week he
looks good.
great. Dude, what is with that? We're lit like crap, and you look like freaking Pierce Brosnan.
You say this every week, and the go-to joke every week is I love being lit.
You do love being lit. All right, here's the thing. So in my seminar, I bring up a picture on the left and a picture on the right. And you know what? If you'll give me a second, I'll pull it up. Because
okay.
it'll help. It'll take me just a second.
Maybe we can have some eggnog. You got any, Brad?
No, but let's go to Brad for a second, because it's always just good to go to Brad. Because Brad,
Wow.
I know, right? Did we catch him at a bad time? Because I'd love to.
He's just eating, and we're looking at him, just with
Well,
adoringly.
this is-
the way he works.
The way he works.
This is riveting television right here, guys.
Never mind. I'm
okay.
gonna keep quiet. I'm gonna keep quiet.
Well, I can talk a little
no, I
bit
got
while
it.
you're doing
Boom,
this.
I'm here.
He's here.
So take a look at the same picture. Now, before we look at the picture, well, here it is. On the left is a 50 millimeter with all the exact same settings. On the right is I asked the subject to remain still. I said, look, I'm going to change lenses. And Brad is standing right beside me to hand me the 50. These shots were probably taken 3 or 4 seconds apart. It was like, click, click.
Yep.
Look at the distortion in her face with a 50 millimeter versus a 200 millimeter.
It looks alienish.
Yeah, I mean, she does. It like she would never use the picture on the left as her Facebook page, her profile page. She used the one on the right, and this is the truth. She's now married and had a baby 2-3 weeks ago,
Congratulations to her.
right?
About a month ago, yeah.
About a month ago, yeah, she got a baby. And you know when it came from? 200 millimeter lens. All right, now, go back to that picture. Because a lot of people will now try to pull this. They'll go, wait a minute. It's an 85 millimeter lens or a 50 millimeter lens, and I put it on a crop sensor camera, so now it's longer and it will look good. No, it won't. Here's why. Look at the picture on the left. A crop sensor crops in. If I crop it in on her, does she look better? If I crop it an inch all the way around, does suddenly she look pretty? Does it fix her nose? Does it fix her crazy eyes? No. You know what fixes it? Buy the right lens. Just use the right lens. Don't try to get around it. Don't look for a loophole. If you crop in on the 50 millimeter, it doesn't look better. But everybody thinks that's the aha. I'm using a crop sensor, so my 85 becomes a. No, it doesn't. It's still got the same distortion factor. Okay. That being said, so really, if you want flattering headshots, you have to go beyond 85. 85 has its place like for weddings and stuff. I think you can use an 85 at wedding.
I
And if
have
you
the
want
85 1.2. I run around with it, but no, not for.
Yeah, but not for headshots. All right, so what would we tell this photographer overall here before we take a break? Because we're going to need to take one.
They're snapshots, with the exception of that one.
That's a really good shot. I
Yeah,
like that one.
yeah.
And one of the things I like best about it, I mean, we've seen a million cute pictures of kids, and this is a very cute little girl. But it's the blue color and the composition. And we've seen the same kind of laying down and looking back, but I think the blue hue really is very nice. And it looks like a white balance problem. So good on you.
It worked out great.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything else looks
Yeah,
snapshotty.
snapshotty, yeah.
And
right.
this one reeks. This one makes me think of things that I used to show you when I first started working here. Not that one, the one before it. I used to shoot a lot like that. And I would get yelled at because of the amount of headroom.
You always shot because you thought a nameplate of a magazine was going to go there, like National something.
So I'd always hear it. I'd turn in images to Scott to take a look at it, and he'd be like, "What? I'm sorry. Was this a magazine cover you're doing? I'm sorry. Did you just? How much headroom do you think?" And I'm like, "Dude, that's some cool stuff you're talking about right now."
But you know what? Here we eat our young. Okay. Hey, let's do this. Let's take a short break. I've got a story when we come back. Peter's got a story. We've got some other stuff coming up. We have more images to look at, and we're going to look at them quicker when we come back because we've taken 22 minutes to look at two people. Stick around. We'll be right back here on the grid, and that's RC right there.
What's going on?
I'm scared of that.
Hi everybody, I'm Lindsay Adler, and I'm a fashion photographer based in New York City. And what I'm going to do today is share with you the essentials of the business of fashion photography. Everything from how to plan your first shoot, how to get published in magazines, and then also the complicated bits about what to charge and keeping track of all of the different elements that go together into being a professional fashion photographer.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the grid. RC here with Scott Kelby and Mr. Peter Hurley.
Yay.
Now, I'm excited about this next set of pictures.
Yeah.
We pulled them up, and as soon as we pulled them up, we're like, "Ooh, someone's been paying attention." So it's a good example here.
This person looks like they've watched a Peter Hurley class.
So let's go ahead and take a look here.
It does. It looks pretty good.
Okay.
Nice stuff.
Well, it's good for us. I was going to see what you were going to say. Watch you turn around and be like, "This stuff sucks." I'm like,
Well, I think the lighting is certainly very, very, very Hurley-esque,
If you will.
if you will. Now, I won't say anything. I'll hear what you have to say. Here you go.
No, I like them. I mean, it's definitely more pro. This looks like a photographer that's getting some work done and charging for headshots, which they should be. I mean, everybody that can take a headshot like that should be charging for it these days. The thing is, the industry's growing like crazy. So I always tell people, hey, if you're a portrait photographer, you're not adding headshots to what you're doing, you're silly. Just get on it, get it going.
People need headshots more now than they ever have at any time in history. They need them for their profile pages, they need them for the website, they need them for as avatars, they need them for everything.
Yeah.
All right, so you know which one I like the best? Which one do you like the best? Let's see. I'll just take you through them because I have a particular favorite.
Well, go back one. I like her vibe.
You like her vibe?
I like her vibe. Yeah.
I like her vibe.
You like her vibe?
Yeah, she's got a little of that smirky, that little kind of. She looks like she's about to break into a smile.
Yeah, I like that too. So the expression. So this photographer obviously coaxed that out of her. That's our job. And this guy or woman, whoever was shooting this, did a good job of it.
I don't know what she looks like in real life, but I think it's just a very flattering shot. I think she looks very flattering.
she's very inviting.
She looks inviting. Yeah.
Well, one thing that I'm not quite thrilled about, go from this one to the next one. The saturation between the two is way different. Like she's way more saturated. I mean, there's a lot more color going on, but the skin and everything compared to that shot, I would try and sort that out a little bit and find a happy medium.
They might have different skin tones.
Yeah, but still, the colors in the you can see that the saturation, the overall image,
Now
and the
she has
contrast go back.
She has a dot on her nose.
That's a
I know.
It's a nose ring.
It's a nose ring.
She's got the shaved and
But
the
they
nose ring.
all
She's
look
cool. Her
nice.
teeth are great. I like this shot. I like this. I like the vibe from that shot. Go back to the other one. This shot is a shot that almost everybody needs in their portfolio because my biggest thing when I'm critiquing is, does it get you more work? And I think a woman in that age range or looking at a shot like that, a professional woman that needs a shot for LinkedIn or whatever would look at that shot and go, this photographer can
Make me look good.
Can make, so you need, it's a big.
All right, so here's what I would do. And I think this could make a big difference.
You'd get rid of the nose ring?
No, I would not get rid of the nose ring. I would add the nose ring to her.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Which side? You put it right there.
On that
That's the
side, yeah.
spot.
Yeah, now that inviting face is
Yeah.
complete. She's like, yeah, what's up?
What's up?
I got some cookies right here.
I got some cookies right here. Where does that come
Sorry,
from?
dude.
All right. So overall, it sounds like you like this photographer.
I like him. I wish this guy had his jawline out though. He's got some
Yeah,
issues.
he didn't
there.
shebang it.
Yeah, no,
He
he's
didn't
got some
shebang it.
issues. I would
He's
toast that
actually
one.
tucked in.
I would toast that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Well, when we naturally laugh, our first thing that we do is we tuck our chins back in. So you guys teaching people if you get somebody laughing, they're going to go like this. And they're gonna have this big thing going on.
Gonna
You
pull
have to
the
actually
caraminder?
teach them what you got to
gonna pull the caraminder?
Pull the caraminder on them. Teach them. If Caraminder's watching, he's gonna appreciate that little shout out. Teach them to get that chin out.
Okay. So let's contrast this person to the last person.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So let's take a look.
Perfect.
Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I created this horizontal thing way back when I started shooting horizontally, and because I always look at vertical headshots like this, and I just get bored. I feel like we're far away from the guy. There's all this stuff that I don't know. I want to see a headshot. I want to be in and see this guy's face and his features and stuff like that. So I like the tighter format. Yeah, I can work with that. Look at that. Now I
does
get
change
him,
the
and I
picture.
like the shot. It changes it completely. It gives it so much more. There you go. See, getting that. My thing about the saturation and what I'm working with lately, with what I'm doing, is I really look at the people that are in front of me when I'm shooting them, and I look at their skin tone, and I think our cameras tend to oversaturate and add contrast to what we really see as in real life. So I'm going back to this, trying to capture what this person would look like.
So
in real
look
life.
at what's
It looks like
interesting about
me.
this. It does look like you.
It does look like you.
Happy RC. All right, look.
What a handsome
So
man.
look at how much space we're devoting to his head,
That guy's hot.
right? And this is what a headshot's about. And look how much more we're devoting to his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yes.
would you show so much of his chest
in a headshot.
when it's about his head? Now, if we could get something like this going,
Then I would
Buenos
say
dias.
we got.
then you
Yeah.
got a shebang.
That's right.
All right. So, how are we feeling like this photographer versus the one we just saw? Is this?
I think the other guy's got this one beat.
Yeah.
But I guess the crop really throws me off. Like, I like those first two. This guy, no, keep going. Next one, out to lunch.
Yeah.
Guy is not comfortable in his own skin. He should not be there. Don't put him in your portfolio. Get rid of that guy. Chuck that sucker.
What do you feel? Can I ask you a question? I know it's not a headshot, but what do you feel about the hand in the pocket?
It's not a
hand
headshot.
in the pocket.
This looks like the Sears catalog.
The problem is that this guy's tall and he's so long. Like that jacket looks custom made, or else he's stretched out and distorted. What lens is that?
Yeah,
We don't have
actually, I didn't
the
even pay attention to that. Yeah, he does look long.
He is.
And
Look at how
strong.
tiny his head is compared to his body. I mean, it's just an enormous body with a tiny little head.
It's a lot of. There you go.
Oh yeah, he needs jawline out.
Yeah, jawline that would be good.
But the crop-
that's stiff.
the crop
His
is
ears
really
are
making the
enormous.
shot.
Look how big his ears are.
You got to get in a little tighter. The crop is actually
Okay.
that's
All right,
doing
let's
it.
see what we got here. Oh,
Okay.
it looks like the same person in
It's the
different
same
locations.
person in different light, different locations.
All right. First thing is, you gotta change your white balance. You gotta change your. She's blue. Do you not see that she's blue? She's blue because you used auto white balance and you walked in the shade. You have to change your white balance to shade. So take a look. She is literally just blue. If you were to correct it, let's just click on her jacket to where she's not blue. See how blue it was? Let me just show you a difference here. She was blue. That's a black jacket she's wearing. It's blue here. It's black here. And you could probably just go to auto white balance and maybe, well, that's what, here's as shot. Oh, that's blue. Auto's blue. You need to get it to where the black looks black and then her skin. Look at that. Look at the
And you
difference.
brought the tin up a little bit, which was nice, right?
Yeah.
You brought
Well, I just
you
used
got
the tint
green
to
out of it.
counteract.
The
Yeah,
green.
I counteracted the
green.
that. So, but you also have the what we like to call the RC headroom. Her fingers are cut off, but these are all like just technical stuff. I'm gonna leave it to Peter to actually do the critique of Rooney. That's a much
stuff
better
just looks
shot.
so much better
That looks
like that.
so much better.
She's top heavy on the light, so she's got the bags under her eyes. You got to watch that, people.
Yeah, the bag's under her eyes.
Well, her eyes are in shadow. You can see that.
Right, they are. A little reflector under there where to put pop some light in there.
Hammering those bags.
You're hammering those bags. That just sounds
Number 3.
terrible. Brad,
Hammer the bags.
let's go to Brad real quick.
Just the heck.
What's going on over there, dude?
I don't know.
lit.
I keep getting all these presents. I can't help it.
Okay.
People love me
All
so
right.
much.
So Peter, I talked about the technical things that were wrong with it. There's way too much like headroom and stuff, but let's talk about the other stuff. Let's Hurlicize it.
Well, look at it. If you got 4 pictures of the same woman, right? Mm-hmm. Same expression on her face every time. This looks like she was asked to smile. Smile, 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 smile. Asking people to smile sucks. You got to make people smile. You got to make them laugh. You got to have some sort of operation that makes them have a good time on your shoot, and you get real smiles out of them.
Yeah, no, I'm down with you. So that's all good advice. Yeah, it looks like smile, 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 smile.
Well,
It's the same smile
thing.
in every
It's the
shot.
same exact thing. She's got this permanent, that's all.
Here I am as a
asked to
teacher.
smile.
Here I am in evening wear. Here I am.
And when and people will get in front of your camera and just do that. They just know we've been programmed from birth to
Right.
say cheese, and they do it, and it looks so fake. And you have to. It's like, and you have to get them to smile.
A couple of questions coming in, Peter.
Steven says, do you try to keep your composition to either to the left or to the right third, or do you center your shots with the eyes in the top third sometimes?
I try to keep it. I try to go all over the frame. I don't really. I don't like to. I was just critiquing somebody's work recently, and it was like every shot was either all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And I'm like, I'm trying to vary that frame. I will, usually favor the side of the person that I feel is their best side. And if, let's say, that's the left side of their face, then most of the time I'm going to put them on the right side of the frame so that there's more negative space the way that their nose is pointing.
Right.
But I'm a big fan of shooting everybody that I shoot centered too, just to see what it looks like. I like the center shots. So.
All righty. And another question.
So Corey K says, do you always crop the top of the head?
I do always crop the top of the head when I'm shooting actors because I believe that the 8x10 is their real estate. That's what they have. As an actor's headshot, it's like they're going into a casting director and they're selling this amount of space, right? And if I pull back, and I've got a great expression on them, I've got a clean, simple background. If I pull back, I'm losing all that juice that the shot has. So I crop the head because of the proximity to the camera. So as they get closer, I've got to raise them up in the frame because I like the eyes above center line, and I like to see a little bit of action down here. If there's a tie on, I like to see the bottom of the knot. I like to see the shoulders. I like to see collars. And I think this information is way more important than this information. And it was hard in my career. It was really hard to get the industry to kind of grasp that. Everybody be like, I've had people, I shoot them. Every shot on my website, I don't know about now, but at the time, every single shot was with the head cropped off. So I'll shoot somebody and I'll crop their head, and I'll shoot them, and then they'll call me afterwards and they'll go, okay, I need the shots put back on the proofing website with my head in there. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, no, you edited with me for the whole shoot. There's no top of your head. And I crop in camera because I have retouchers working on my work. I don't have time to think about the crop after. I actually think composition and framing is a huge part of the shot. And if I get it, then I know it's right. It's the way I wanted it. As an artist, I need to get it in camera. I very rarely do any cropping. So, except for when I'm on a commercial shoot. When I'm on a commercial shoot, I shot this one author, and Barnes & Noble wanted to put the shots in their store, and they were like, you crop the top of the head out, you can't fit this shot, we can't add background, we can't do anything, you crop the head. So for commercial shoots and for corporate clients and stuff like that, I will leave the top of the head, but I just move back a little bit. So if I want to go in and do my crop on it, I can, but I'll move back a little bit, and then I can leave the top of the head. If I'm in that close, I'm not going to just leave the top of the head in and do this to the person. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go back a little bit, and I'm going to do this.
All right, can I show this real quick?
Sure.
Now, our cameraman's going to zoom on it. Oh, good, look, there's not a single cameraman on the set. Look, they've all walked away. Oh, look, Arnoldo came back. Hey, thanks for stopping in. All right, shebang. So this is, this class is on KelbyOne. It's called Mastering the Headshot with Peter Hurley, or Headshot Photography, and it's an amazing class. This class has made so many people fall in love with Peter's work. But take a look at all 4 shots. Every single one of them is cropped, and they're pretty crop tight, and they look fantastic. Yeah. So these are on the cover of the. And we're giving away 2 of these today. Why? So these are the digital download versions. If you're not a subscriber to KelbyOne, you can get the class and download it. And while we're talking about giveaways,
why would you not be a subscriber to KelbyOne, by the way?
I know, I ask that question all the time.
Okay.
So here's we're also giving away a landmark book. This is Jay Mazel's Light, Gesture, and Color. It's brand new.
Amazing book.
It just came out. This is, if you really want to blow somebody's mind for the holidays, get this book. Now, I'm saying get this book. We actually produced it, so it is kind of a tad self-serving when I say that. But honestly, the content is amazing. I mean, Jay Mazel is a living American legend. He's one of the last of his genre, and he put just an amazing amount of work and thought. This is one of those books where the pictures are amazing, but you read it and you're just like, if you think I need to learn the next level of photography. This is it. We're also giving away another book.
This book right here. So, The GoPro Professional Guide to Filmmaking by Branford Schmidt and Brandon Thompson. So, using a GoPro, you might want to take a look at something like this.
So, all of those are available today. We're also going to give away a KelbyOne subscription that's called the 4+1. So, it's actually 5 months, but it's for the price of 4 months. So, it's $99. And you get 4 months plus a bonus month. So it's the 4+1 membership, unlimited access to all of the videos and everything else. So we'll be giving away one of those as well at the end of the show. But now it's time to take a short break. And by short, I mean 60 seconds?
Yeah, about ish. It's ish.
All righty.
We'll see you guys right back here on the grid.
Yay.
Hi, I'm Scott Kelby, and I'd like to tell you about my brand new book, the Photoshop CC book for digital photographers. This new edition is the biggest revision I have done to the book in years, and it's primarily because the way photographers use Photoshop today is much different than we did even just a few years ago. So I wanted to create a new version that is right on top of how we really use Photoshop CC today. Of course, I cover all the new features released in Photoshop CC, but every Photoshop book's going to do that right. But I feel like my job as the author and as a photographer who uses Photoshop every single day is to really just cut through all that clutter and just straight up tell you which features to use, which ones to ignore. And I feel it's my job to show you the quickest, easiest way to get where you want to be with your Photoshop work as quickly as possible so you can get back to shooting fast. In this new version of the book, I show you all the exact techniques I use every day in my own work. And in fact, in the last chapter of the book, I lay out my entire start to finish workflow from the opening the original file straight out of the camera to delivering the final image. You see all of it every step of the way. I also share all my own settings throughout, including my sharpening settings, how I use Camera Raw, I share all my favorite photographic special effects, and I teach all of this just like I was telling a friend. I leave out all the geeky techno stuff, and I tell you just the same way I would if you and I were sitting there together. I even give you the same downloadable file so you can follow along with me using the same images that you see in the book. I've really worked hard to make this the best, most helpful, most useful version of the book ever. So I hope you'll check out my Photoshop CC book for digital photographers. It's available right now in print and ebook formats wherever really helpful books are sold.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Grid RC here with Mr. Scott Kelby and Peter Hurley. Now, before we continue, I did want to be able to mention this. We have bundled KelbyOne memberships and Photoshop World tickets for a number of bonuses together for one spectacular offer. Make sure that you go check it out at KelbyOne.com/GoVIP. We have Larry
Hey,
Becker.
that's Larry.
He's going to talk to you about the entire VIP bundle. Just go there. Go to KelbyOne.com/VIP. He'll tell you everything that you're going to get from
Can we go back to that picture of Larry real quick? Can we scroll back up?
I like
Can you
Larry.
pause it real quick? You know, that was a perfect place, by the way, to pause it.
That was perfect.
So look, you almost have a headshot right there. Just crop a little of his head.
I got to take Larry's
crop
headshot.
that. I know, Larry's very photogenic.
I want to shoot Larry.
You
Let's
should
get him.
shoot Larry. He
Yeah,
deserves
I'm
to be
very
shot.
nervous
Talk about
you
what we're
making
doing
headshots.
tomorrow. Can we talk about what we're doing tomorrow?
What do you
Oh yeah, can we talk? So tomorrow, one of the reasons Peter's here, we are working on his book. That's legit. But since I knew he was coming here to work on this, I proposed a class to him because I think Peter has a very, very, really well-toned skill that I think a lot of us could learn from. And Peter has the gift of being able to picture, to tell you, if you have say, here's 40 shots, Peter, which is the one? He goes, that one. I want to learn that technique. Now, I do it, you do it, we all have to do it. We all have to choose from every shoot which is the one we're going to show, which is the best one. But I think, I actually, the reason I came up with this class was, I did this fashion shoot in New York, and I asked Peter to look at the images, and he was like, no, here's why, no, that doesn't work, this isn't it, boom, 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 that's the one. And as soon as he said it out of his mouth, every time he described why it wasn't the one or why it was the one, I knew he was right. And I thought, boy, this would be a class.
That's the second level of learning.
That is that next level of learning.
It's past buttons, it's past styles, it's that thing that you don't know until a pro tells you.
It's after the shoot.
Yeah?
The shoot's done. But you have to get good at telling people at determining which one is the one, which is the best shot of the bride, which is the best headshot, and so in our class tomorrow, we're going to look at a bunch of different images. I'm going to actually take some of my shoots and say, here's my 40 picks. Peter, how do we get to the one? And I think it's going to be an amazing class. Just from sitting with you, and you did that for me before, I was like, I can't tell you how much I learned from 15, 20 minutes of him going through my shots.
Nice.
And so we're going to do a whole class on it. We're taping it tomorrow.
I couldn't believe this was I was here this was like 6 months ago when I was here or something like that,
Yep.
or maybe. And we did the grid, and then Scott goes, wait a minute, hold on. Can I show you some of my pictures? And can you go with that? I was like, Scott Kelby is asking me my opinion on his pictures.
And I learned a ton.
That was awesome.
I learned a ton. It was
That was
great.
awesome.
Okay.
So,
Now, hey, listen.
yeah.
Before we do any of that stuff, you had a Lightroom story that you wanted to get to.
Yeah.
You want to get to it?
Yeah. So I have
okay.
I have a little story.
All right.
Okay. So I took over Lightroom Killer Tips.
Okay.
All right. And so I'm running that site now, and I'm really excited about it. I love Lightroom. I spend 80% of my time in Lightroom.
You've written a book on
I've
Lightroom.
written a book on Lightroom that's been around for a while. And so I'm totally into Lightroom, and I'm loving being able to do this. It's Matt actually put the template together, and I love the template. I really like it. It's a lot of fun, and I've been in there every day adding a lot of new content too. You can see some of the content I've been adding here, right? And so I've been adding new stuff like every day. I missed Sunday, but I've been adding new stuff every day, and I did some giveaways and stuff. Anyway, I did this Lightroom trick for sharpening women's skin that went over really well, and some other things. But so Terry White did a Lightroom tutorial that I thought was just really, really just great, because there's a big problem that people have they have, we'll use this example. You're on a laptop. You've been putting Lightroom photos on there, your Lightroom gets full. Mm-hmm. You want to add an external drive, and you plug it in, and you move your images to an external drive because your laptop's full or whatever, or your regular desktop is full, you need an external drive. If you don't do it right, it creates a havoc in Lightroom that will bring you to your knees. And Terry's telling me the story of when he taught this at Photoshop World, that a man literally came up in tears going, oh my God, this is the answer to my whole nightmare. I mean, he was like so upset because he had been through this. Because if you mess up Lightroom, if you mess up where your images, it can be a disaster. It can be really bad. And all of a sudden everything's broken, and you click on links, I can't find the original, and people get upset. I don't blame them. But, so Terry did a video to show, well, here's the old way we used to do it, which is very intensive and long. And then here's this other way to do it, where Lightroom does it all automatically. It moves all of your images, and everything stays perfectly working. It's great. But there's a trick that you would have to know to make this happen, that if you didn't know it, it would never work. Because when you plug a hard drive into Lightroom, Lightroom doesn't even see the drive. Lightroom doesn't see that you have a drive installed at all. So Terry did a video, and about 9 minutes into it, he shows this technique. And I thought, and I wrote, this gets my vote for one of the top Lightroom tips of the year. Because I thought, this is great.
This helps.
I hadn't heard it. I do a lot of Photoshop stuff. I hadn't heard this before. And so what I wanted to talk about was this. I put this tip up. Right off the bat, a couple of guys come in and they're like, well, everybody knows this. What a waste of time. Just because you know it doesn't mean everybody knows it. There is no, and so one guy goes, this is in the documentation. What documentation? Documentation doesn't come with Lightroom. You either bought it at the store or you download it, but it doesn't say, here's how to move from one drive to the next. And so this kind of arrogance kills photography forums. This is why beginners are very reluctant to go and make comments and say, because there are people here like, oh, this is great. Oh, you saved my life. Thanks so much. This is awesome. So this guy says, it's not a tip. It's the official way of moving pics since Lightroom 4, right in the documentation. The video spends the first 10 minutes to ditch a perfectly working, simpler, and user-embraced way of doing things. I wouldn't call that tip of the year. And so, I love this one. You must be pretty tired going around the internet, seeing things that you already know how to do and telling other people about it.
But see,
But that's not the one. Wait. Wait, where was it? This one. So 2 people said, everybody knows this. And so she said, thanks for attempting to speak for me and all other Lightroom users worldwide, but you really don't. I'm glad that you know something that you consider to be so obvious. Yes, I'm sure you knew this the minute you opened Lightroom for the first time, as it jumps right out at you. And she said, very cool tip, thanks for posting. I've struggled with this in the past, and it's less obvious, especially since plugging in a new external drive doesn't automatically show in Lightroom. But this kind of stuff, this kind of where you're talking down to everybody else like, oh, you don't know that? That's so stupid. I mean, it's like, that's not helping anybody, and it keeps people out of forums that are looking for help.
And it's part of, unfortunately, it's kind of like that, dare I say, it's almost kind of like that YouTube generation. It's that commenting where I know it, therefore no one else needs to know it, therefore no one else needs to experience it.
Doesn't everybody know this?
Like it's smug, and it's like we make our living trying to figure out the best way to be able to help the largest amount of people possible. I go on shows, I go on photography tips and tricks, and I talk about, well, how to do this and how do you do this? And people are like, well, obviously you don't understand. And I'm like, good for freaking you. It's not about you.
Good for freaking you.
It's just,
hey, my buddy Jeff Ravel wrote, yes, Scott, how dare you post something that 2 people already knew? What were you thinking? Next time, post something that no other person on earth knows.
It's just...
Anyway, look, I just took over this site. I'm going to be posting stuff that you might know.
Guess what? Start a blog. Go tell people about the things you know.
No, you don't need to come by and tell me. You already know it.
I'd like to tell you what I want to tell you.
There's a lot of people that are brand new to Lightroom, and I want to help those people.
I didn't know that.
Dude, I didn't know that. All right, so all kinds of people. Look at that. Peter Hurley seems like a pretty smart guy. Well, it's a beard mostly. But anyway, hey, so we're going to look at some more critiques, but I wanted to mention that. And you had a funny thing happen. Peter was telling us at lunch today. We went to the very famous Burger 21. We had salads, though. But
That's right.
Anyway, tell your story. This was a funny thing on Twitter today.
Yeah, on Facebook. I wake up this morning, I go on Facebook, and I'm looking through my news feed, and I see this post of this guy Yannick in I guess he's in Germany. And can we bring that up, Brad? Do you have that? So he posts this picture of this girl, and he says, this is what it says, but my preset right now, if you buy my preset right now if you want to be a pro, only 99 euros. Give your photography a major turn in life with my fabulous new actions. More to come very soon. For more info, blah, 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 email me here.
Good. You just took every bit of character off that girl.
So I see it. I didn't read any of the comments. And this is my biggest pet peeve of all these like plug-in things or whatever the crap people are selling. I do very little retouching on skin. I like I like the people in my photographs to look like they're standing in front of me. I don't need all this stuff going on and this stuff that just cheapens people's work. So I just didn't read any comment. I wrote in there, there's nothing pro about that. I forget what I wrote exactly, but it was something like, there's nothing pro about this. What are you doing? Is what I wrote.
What are you doing?
And because I thought he was really selling it. So I get a private message from him saying, yeah, dude, I'm joking. I was kidding. I wanted to see how people would react, and everybody's flipping out, and then people started laughing, and it got funny. But people are really going out and buying these things and using them and thinking that their work looks good because of it. That's crazy. It's nuts.
You don't even need to buy an action to make it look that bad. You can just do it right in Photoshop. Hey, we have some nice shots coming up here.
Okay, let's
So
take a
look.
look.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm just going to say, just my opinion before we get to yours. Of all the ones we've seen today, this one's the best. Of the headshot people we've seen on white backgrounds, I think the lighting looks good. I like some of the expressions, some of them, but that's just my call. Peter?
Okay. Yeah. No, I think it's good too. I don't like the shift from here to here.
Oh, it looks like a light's off.
You know,
It's a different crop.
Yeah, the crop's different, and it looks, you know. And then when you're shooting somebody, like, look at the light wrap around his skull.
The light wrap around his skull. Well, you know what? We can fix that with a little bit of a crop. It won't be so obvious if we come in, because you don't want to see maybe that much skull.
Yeah, no, you know,
That's a little tight.
it's a little too much.
Yeah,
This is
sorry.
this is a factor. We could talk about this. Like, cropping guys that are follically challenged is an art in itself, and
Cropping what? Cropping bald people?
well, you can crop in further,
Dude, I feel...
Well, you can't. You're not completely bald. Like, I
Yet.
wouldn't
Wow.
crop
Yeah,
in on
RC,
you.
you're not quite there
I
yet.
couldn't
I'm
just gonna do
crop
this.
in on you all the way. I want to show that little tussle of hair up
The
there.
little tussle that's left. This is making me really excited about a Wheeler Hurley picture. You haven't done a picture of me yet?
No, I want to do a picture.
Oh, God. That's
You've done a
not what
picture
you-
of me.
That's right. I did do a picture
Yeah,
of you.
yeah.
There you go. This is what this person needs.
Does this
Totally
help?
done. Great. The third eye.
You have all that space.
Right. All right, let's move
But
to the
the
next
exposure
one.
wasn't at all the same as the other one. So.
It just looks like a light was kicked off, is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's just not
Where am I
the
going
way
for
you
a
want to
bridge?
put
Here
your.
we go.
No.
You don't want.
I like it better with the
like
crop
that.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What now?
It doesn't match
Expressions
the
out
other
of all of the
stuff.
expressions.
I don't like that expression. That expression's good.
This
but
one's
his,
a little
his-
too
he's
squinchy.
yeah, he's too. He's doing what?
He's squinting.
He's squint.
He's not squinching.
No, there's a big difference between squinching and squint. And to
Now,
me, his
is
skin
he
looks
Asian?
softened
Can I
a
just
little
point
bit.
that out though for
Can
a
we
second?
go back?
He does look Asian.
He looks. I tell Asian people to squinch. It's not a problem.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
I do. You obviously haven't watched. It's all about. The
I
squinch.
have watched the squinch. I actually.
No,
like this
she's
one.
she's got the out to lunchitis going.
She looks
now.
scared.
She looks scared.
She is.
Yeah. Obviously, this person has watched. They're doing
This
it.
one
this
looks a
one,
little
though.
sassy.
I like this one.
It's like
It's a little bit too blank for me. I want more going on than that. The mouth, eyes, and eyebrows have to be engaged. Actually, this expression on this guy is good,
Yeah.
but the light is just weird. Maybe.
You know, it looks just a little dark. It looks a little underexposed.
Yeah.
Does it help if you?
Yeah, that helps a little bit. That helps. That helps. I like the expression on that dude.
And let's pull this down just a hair while we're looking on a monitor.
I'm not a huge fan of the huge front shoulder compared to the back shoulder. What can we get a lens on this? You see that?
We are using a 100 millimeter.
Really? Look,
100
see how look how
millimeter.
massive that front shoulder is compared to
It's
the back.
100 millimeter.
that is quite a bit.
It's just a
That's
huge
a lot of
difference.
shoulder
Can we
real
measure
estate.
that? Shoulder
Can we
real
measure
estate is a
that?
problem.
I'm trying to.
So what I usually do in this
minimize
case
it.
is I crop off
help?
the shoulder. Can we just show this? Just
Yeah,
to help
crop the
this.
shoulder off?
If you have this situation, you crop off the large shoulder. Chop that sucker.
Say when.
Yeah, right there. And then go and drop the. No. Like.
Oh,
what
sorry.
Are you doing? What are you doing?
Sorry. Cat sound.
Meow.
All right, where are we going?
Go this way.
Crop
Bring it in. Stop. Go up a little bit with the frame, a little bit, just an inch. That stop. No, the whole thing up a little bit, I think. Yeah, maybe like that. Now down a touch on the bottom one. Yeah, like something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Look at the difference in the shoulder. See that?
Oh, you lost the. Yeah, you lost the.
You lost the big shoulder.
Yeah.
But you lost the sauce that you
Look
put
at the
on it.
expression, though.
I know. See, I think this was the one that made me
he's
really like this
adorable.
one. But
Wow. He's adorable. Uncomfortable.
He's got a
hold
little.
on.
He's
So
doing a
can we
little,
do this?
He's
though?
doing a little tongue jamming.
Let's do this. This is the cropped
He has
version.
his tongue. Yeah,
and-
Diane A says he has his tongue sticking between his teeth.
Yeah, he's a tongue
All
jammer.
right, so
What's
it's a tongue
that?
jammer.
A tongue
All
jammer?
right, so now let's do this.
Tongue jammers.
Let's
When
go
they
back and look
laugh,
to
they
the
jam
original-
their. Can we talk about tongue jamming for a second?
Well, yeah. Hey,
Go right ahead.
Hey, can I show you? Here's the original versus the crop.
Yeah.
So that's the crop with the minimized shoulder, and it's brighter, and that's the original
Yeah.
there. But I think we actually brightened this one already.
Yeah, you did.
Well, so let me go back
did.
and well, I can't. It's hold on.
It's 4:57.
Yeah, it's almost time.
Oh my gosh, we got stuff to talk about. I got to talk about my Pro board.
Let's talk about your Pro board while I'm fixing this.
Okay, guys, Pro board, Hurley Pro board, right here.
Right, what is Hurley
well,
Pro board?
when I go on the road, I want to take something with me that I can use as a backdrop. Or when I was in the studio, I used to use plexiglass to create that reflection on the floor. But plexiglass, I can't take it out of the studio.
You
What am I
can't
gonna
take
do
it
with
out.
that?
What are you going to do with it? How do you
No.
put it on a plane?
You can't.
You
So
can't.
I built a little operation here, this little thing, and you can take. I have 3 surfaces. I have a matte white, a glossy white. We'll just take this out of here real quick, and a matte black. And the matte black is designed. It's that chalkboard type thing. This one's a glossy one. I'm not going to take the straps off of it, but I'll put it like this. So you can see in here is glossy. So it's got a beautiful gloss to it. So it's very reflective. Now, as a backdrop, for the floor, I use the glossy one all the time. I also use it as a background. So tomorrow when we're doing our thing, we're going to be using this one, and it's a glossy one. But when I want to get some fall off and have the background go a little gray, a nice little gray, I use the matte white one. So I have a matte white one.
So you use the white glossy when you want it to be solid white?
Generally on the floor, I use the white
What do
glossy,
you
but
use
I will
behind?
also use it behind when I want it totally white. But if I'm going on the road and I'm doing just headshots, I don't need a floor. I'll bring my matte white one, or if I'm doing video, I'll bring the matte white one because I use the Kino Flows. I don't want that reflection from the gloss. And
Nice.
And you've got a special deal?
I have a special deal. So go to hurleyprogear.com. Is that up now? Yeah, there it is. And we ran a Black Friday special for 25% off. And I just didn't tell anybody that it was running other than Black Friday. So I never took it off the site. So it should work. And I figure on the grid, we should just tell the grid listeners
Yeah.
and they can go
Now-
nuts and get some Pro Board for 25% off. So it's usually $149.99. So it's whatever, 25% off.
So you get
And
25% off?
you can get, and you put Black Friday 25.
Black Friday 25
Add it
is
to the cart
code.
and see if the Black Friday code, how do you,
Hey, when Black Friday comes,
yeah, Black Friday, go check out and then put the
it's a
code
song. Nobody got it. It's okay.
in. Yeah, Black Friday
Steely Dan
25.
song.
So guys, if you look at peterhurley.com, you can see the black matte board that I'm using, which is amazing because it gets that separation that I was talking about off the background. And I use that probably every day. It's like one of my moves. I shot a white background forever and I've been playing with this black matte. It's like a chalky surface. It's really cool. Comes in a really killer bag, and I put my stands down the center of the tube. And anyway, that's enough about that. It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple real quick to wrap
Okay.
us up here. We're
Okay.
gonna do them really quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There's the old hand under the chin move. Kids are always cute. It's hard for me to critique kids, you know?
I know, because kids are so cute.
They're
when
cute.
around.
I mean, the kid's miserable and she's
All
still
right, we'll
cute.
critique this one. What do you think?
All right. I don't feel a great connection to the center of the lens for some reason. I feel like he's like spacing out over here a little bit. I like this guy's look a lot though, and I like that he's centered. I feel like it's pretty good. I get a connection from it, but I just feel he's a slightly glazed over. But he's such an interesting looking guy,
Oh, the rest are all kids.
and the rest are all kids.
We know we don't like the hand under the chin.
No.
That's was that called? Cheesy 57?
That could be cheese. We didn't do hand under the chin's got to be cheese factor. It's got to be up there. It's got to be.
It's got to be way up there.
It could be like 43.
Yeah.
Okay, cheese factor 43 it is.
Cheese Factor 43. All right, let's look at another one real quick because we are pretty much out of time. Hey, while we're on getting the next one up, RC is going to graciously tell you how to enter the contest.
All right, so make sure that you go to KelbyOne.com/webcast/contest. Just go into the one section. Make sure that you select the show the grid. From there, put in your name, put in your email address, put in a website. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. We want to be able to hear from you. If you have a show idea, be more than happy to be able to share that with you. Now, also, while we're at it, I do want to talk to you about this for this weekend. Do you want to mention this?
Yeah.
December 6th, this Saturday, is Help Portrait. So this is the brainchild of Jeremy Coward. And this is the day where you can go out and you can share your gift as a photographer with the rest of the world. And the concept is very, very simple. Take a picture of somebody that's in need, print the picture, give the picture. So if you want to find out more about that stuff, make sure that you go to helpportrait.com. I have it here. Oh, there you go. You have it over at helpportrait.com. Sign up, take a look at what's happening. This happens in cities around the world every year.
Yeah.
We've done it every year. And it's a great way to be able to give back. You have no idea as to how many times there's so many people out there that have never had a picture taken of themselves.
Yeah.
They've never done it, and you have the power to be able to change that. Go out and change it. Make sure you go take a look at help-portrait.com.
That's amazing.
It is. It's a
and
wonderful
couldn't
movement.
come from a better
And,
guy.
Jeremy Coward
Jeremy's
is
the best.
The brainchild behind that. Hey, real quickly, we're going to look at another one here. We have some brand new courses that came out. So we did a creative speed lighting class with Lou Freeman. It's brand new. Also, the business side of fashion photography with Lindsay Adler. Lindsay is a very smart businesswoman. Mm-hmm. And I would definitely check that out. And of course, Lou Freeman is wonderfully talented. Those just came out, and you can get a preview over at KelbyOne.com.
Right.
All right,
pretty good.
Here we go, Peter. I'm just going to go through these real quickly. Tell us where the love is.
Okay.
Twilight.
I can't. It looks like they purchased that filter from that guy. The actions from the guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
It just looks, and she looks miserable.
She looks miserable, yeah.
She's having a rough day. She was having a rough day there. The other one, she was a little bit better, but she was asked to smile, which was fake, which kind of sucks. And what's the other one? Yeah, I don't know.
I
where
want to
you're
drink
going.
your blood.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I don't know what you do with that.
Okay. I don't know what to do with that. There you go. All right, a couple more here. This one's not working. I have two of these that wouldn't come up today. They're just...
Oh, this guy. These are kind of interesting. That second guy, that guy is awesome. That is awesome. That's just killer. I like that shot a lot. It's got what I call lookability, which is it essentially, lookability to me is, I kind of made up this word, but it's basically being able to capture an onlooker's attention, or a shebanging shot that makes you stare at that sucker. I want to stare at that sucker. I like that shot a lot. That's the shot of the day for me.
Yeah, it's quite good.
That's a great shot.
I don't like the skin tones, but I kind of like the shot.
Yeah, it's okay. There's one area that I want you guys to concentrate on when you're shooting headshots that you really want to try and get light in, and it's the laugh lines. Go back to that girl that you liked, that one. When you get shadowing in the laugh lines, yeah, and it comes up to the nose, it elongates the nose out from the face, and you want to flatten the face out with light. So when you want to get as much light in those laugh lines as you can. So usually a reflector in this case, I like to actually use my buddy Phil, and it's usually a light rather than a reflector. I like using a light to fill those areas, but that will it creates depth in the face when you have shadows in the laugh lines. It's one of the things that I notice about people's work.
I would go about this in a different way. In Photoshop, to reduce those, what I would do is duplicate the layer and remove them completely. All right. go in here with the healing brush or whatever and actually remove them all together. You don't have to be perfect about it because you're going to bring some of them back. But we'll just real quickly, oh God, this is really bad. Remove them. I'm doing this very quickly. Remove them all together or add a new one. All right. So once they're all gone, you can use the opacity slider to bring back just as much as you want. So you can make it a little more subtle. Because here's where they were.
Wow. Yeah.
It's just a crease in the face.
Yeah.
A crease, facial creases. You
Yeah.
got to watch them.
Look how deep they are.
Fill
there.
them.
Yeah. All right.
Facial creasing.
So this
is a
photographer,
no-no.
this
Facial
photographer overall,
creasing.
what are we saying here?
I think it's good. I mean, that shot of that guy is just amazing. And that first one I like too. There's vibe there.
This one?
That first guy, yeah, it's got some lookability. I wonder what that guy's looking at. I like the light, the way the light's falling on him. I mean, it's not really, it's portraity. So is this one. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not really headshot.
Right. Yeah, it's okay.
But that
in the ballpark.
that other shot is just amazing.
All right, last one. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Un, deux, trois,
Oh, I love that one.
four.
Cat.
Yeah. This
Think.
guy's pretty. This
Yeah.
person, this human being, is pretty good.
I like that one.
I like that.
I like that. I like that.
That's great. I think my favorite is the one in the pink.
That one.
That- yeah, that purpley.
You know,
That's-
it has very Hurley-esque look
It's
to it.
cute. It's got vibe.
It's cute. It's got vibe.
It's cute.
Yeah.
It's got vibe.
Yeah, it's got vibe.
And it's got a nice jaw.
A lot going on.
And it doesn't look like
You
he
guys,
just
we
said-
got to work on this eye difference. I'm seeing it in a ton of shots. You notice that?
What do you mean?
Look at the eye
Well, the
difference here.
beady eye syndrome.
Well, there's a big difference in the eyes here. But it actually, in this case, it kind of looks like she has one open a little more like, excuse me.
I was just writing about this in the book, so that's why I bring it up.
All right. Hey, Peter, we have run out of time, thankfully.
Okay.
Just totally. Hey, Pete
Okay.
thought that was funny. He never laughs at my jokes. Hey, before we roll up here, we have some deals. Eight crazy deals.
Nice. So if you missed it, make sure that you go to Cyber Weekend Deals. Thanksgiving, stay tuned. We have 8 crazy deals that are coming this month. Make sure that you go to KelbyOne.com.
Eight
We're
crazy
going to tell you about monthly
deals.
things. Now, here's something that I haven't, that I'm going to just totally hijack this real quick.
Go ahead, hijack away.
If you haven't seen it already, go to Google, or do you have a better way to be able to get to it, Peter? But go to Google, type in Peter Hurley TED Talk.
Oh.
So
Cool.
right here, how the camera reveals or building this, what you want to be able to
Go
do.
to
you did-
sciphotology.com.
What was it?
Sciphotology.com.
Sci-
It's my new
P-S-Y.
company.
Photology.com.
I made that up. .com.
Wow, it doesn't sound made
And
up.
there it is. I made that up
It
myself.
doesn't sound made up.
I made it up myself.
Wow.
And if you, there it is,
Here, right here.
there. And that's my TEDx talk at MIT. I graduated from Boston University. I almost failed out. They told me I had to go to night school. And if I did, I had to get over a 3.0 to stay in at Boston University. And then they put me on the 5-year plan. All right?
Nice.
That was in 1993. 20 years later, 21 years later, I'm at MIT giving a TED Talk. That's a major.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Peter, we're out of time, but can you just look at this one? I was just scrolling through a few more, and I just think these. I think
I
these
cool.
are
love
really,
these.
really
That's
good.
killer.
I love
Killer.
Look at that.
That's
Killer.
awesome.
Love these.
Look at that.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
This is all
Look at
portraity
that.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know
You know
who-
what
A
this,
lot of processing, but it's
Yeah,
as
this
long
is
as
good.
this person does this consistently, this is it. And
You know
it's
what they-
cool.
He's got a watermark, so we're
gonna go in.
Robert,
Mashke. It's either Mashke
in his
or
shirt, it's
Mashke.
hard to see.
Photography.
now you know
This
one of
guy's
the
good.
things.
This guy's good.
One of the
Yeah,
things
no,
that I
he's
like. One of the things
Look
that
at
I like
that
about
light,
it
look at
is
that
it
guy.
reminds
Yeah.
me of one of my favorite photographers of a long time ago. I've been a long time fan of a guy named Andre Dragan. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, so Dragan had like all of these pictures that were just really surreal, and it has a very, very Dragan feel to it. People in Photoshop actually started developing dragon filters to try to be able to recreate that look, and they weren't really dragon filters; they were Dragan filters. So it has a very Andre Dragan kind of feel to it.
Good
So-
stuff.
Yeah,
We're ending on a high note.
That's kind of
yeah,
neat.
baby. Hey, though, for everybody who sent in stuff, and you're like, well, what am I supposed to be shooting for? When we saw people who were doing a very Hurley-esque stuff, and I thought they all did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind people copying what I do. That's
Right.
the way I got better. I mean, I think
Right.
that's wonderful. But I love like this guy who came out and he has his own look. Like you want to figure out how to do your own thing. You know, my recipe works great, so do that if you want to do that. But eventually, you want to figure out your own little thing, and that's why we were so blown away by that guy.
All right, but when you look at him, but this is so, and this is they're both attractive people. But when you look at the difference in the photographic quality between this, right?
Go up.
I might
make sure
lose
you're.
my-
Oh no,
there
you're
we
there.
are.
You're there.
And this, it's miles and miles apart. These two. This is a snapshot, and this is a photograph.
But you're
And
on your
this
way.
I'm sorry.
You're on your way.
Yeah, you're on your way.
You're on your way, man. You started. You got
Yep,
something.
You're on the
working it.
road, right? And these are not bad. It's not, the exposure's not bad. Your color's off and stuff. But when you're thinking like, what kind of stuff do I want to aspire to? That may not be your style, but it's that level of quality that you're aspiring to. Speaking of aspiring, can we just look at Brad real quick?
Let's aspire over to him. There we go.
There it is. There he
Look at
is in
that.
all his glory.
Hey, are we going to tell them how to
that's
enter
adorable.
the contest for prizes and stuff?
We're going to talk about what?
We did the prizes stuff.
What about these?
How to enter?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
same
we
spot.
did.
Okay.
They'll also give away
Yeah.
these digital downloads
All right.
of
Can
mastering
I just say,
headshot
guys,
photography.
if you do take headshots, and if you don't take headshots, that's crazy. So start taking them. And if you want to get more coaching or anything on headshots, my headshot site, which is a group of photographers, we've got over 6,500 on there now, is ph2pro.com.
Perfect.
Go there,
PH2
sign
Pro.
up for free, and if you want the coaching, you can pay to upgrade. But get in there, fire it up.
Feel the love. Peter, thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Awesome to have you here this week. Looking forward to
man.
doing the class with you tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
RC, it's awesome to see you, but I see you quite a bit.
That's all right.
So you understand, it's always fun, but I see Peter once a month. I see you every
I
day.
get it. I understand.
But I enjoyed lunch today.
Lunch was good.
You bought me a salad. It was tasty.
So
All
actually,
right.
you bought it. I expensed it.
All right. Anyway, thanks everybody. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you here next week. And thanks to our crew here. Brad, you were stunning today. You were
tried.
resplendent, and your beard has never looked better.
Try.
That was wonderful.
All right. Cheers,
I'm gonna
everybody.
shoot. I'm shooting that beard tomorrow. I'm ready.
You should.
Oh,
It needs
yeah.
to be. You need to do a drone and have a drone go
go.
real close.
Tight beard.
Tight beard. Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Tight beard.